Okay, class, welcome to the Unit 2 CSA study guide. That's your Unit 2 test, will be Thursday and Friday. November 12th, Friday, November 13th, I believe. All right, so here's a similar question to problem 1 that you'll have. You're going to be entering a value that makes the equation 4 times x minus 4 equals 12x minus 40 true. So you just need to solve it. First, distribute. So think of the checklist. The first thing on the checklist is distribute. That's multiplying. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 4 is minus 16. Equals 12x minus 40. Combine like terms, you don't need. Collect variables on one side, check. Okay, we'll do that. It's easiest to subtract 4x. Negative 16 equals 8x minus 40. Finally, we do inverse operations. I add 40 because I attacked the constant first. Add 40 here. That is 24 equals 8x. Divide by 8. And I get x equals 3. Number 2. These are the prompts that you'll see on Illuminate on Thursday. Using angle properties, write an equation that could be used to solve for the unknown angles. Okay, the first thing I would look at would be to look at that this is an obtuse angle. Let's call it angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Immediately you could recognize that 1 and 7 are alternate exterior angles. That's a rare one that we would use. I tend to like to go vertical angle. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because they're vertical. And then 3 and 7 because they're in corresponding locations. Now, if I apply and see that they both are congruent to angle 3, that means that 1 and 7 have to be congruent also. That's the transitive property or substitution. We didn't explicitly learn the transitive property, but that's what that is. So we can see that this angle and this angle are congruent. So now we can just set them equal to each other. 12x plus 10 equals 15x minus 20. So please note that the angle relationships with parallel lines you have congruent relationships or supplemental. They sum to 180 degrees. So in this case, they're equal. It's much easier than having them add up to 180. So we just want to do a quick solution here. Minus 12x. I got 10 equals 3x minus 20. I add 20. And I get 30 equals 3x. So x equals 10. The third problem on the test, you'll be able to go back in YouTube and watch this if you miss anything. Solve it for x here. Oh, this is a bigger one. We do have a lot of combined like terms here, so we are if we follow the checklist, well, I'll go over here. Distribute. (6x minus 30), and then I need to combine like terms. So on this side, I'm going to have the minus 4x and the positive 4x are going to combine. And the 8, and the 6, and the 7, and the 39 are going to combine. So I get 0x. That's going to be 1521. And 39 is 60 plus 60. I don't write 0x, so I'm going to write it as 60. Add 30. 6x equals 90. And so if I divide by 6, x equals 15. Now we have a little bit trickier of a problem. In 7th grade, you learned about perimeter and area of a triangle, of a rectangle. So we have a rectangle here, and it says the perimeter of a rectangle is 60 inches. So let's look at what perimeter is. Perimeter is walking along the outside, where usually you have the width and the length. The width is the smaller, the length is the longer. So I travel one width, one length, one width, one length. So perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. Okay. Now I have some more information though here. It says the length is 6 inches less than 3 times the width. The length is equal to the width, 3 times the width, but minus 6, because it says 6 inches less. So let me put that here. The length is equal to 3 times the width, but minus 6. So I can change this in for every place I see L. I see it twice. So I end up with the perimeter is, instead of L, I could put 3W minus 6 plus W plus 3W minus 6 plus W. Now I could just collect all the 3W, 4W, 7W, 8W. So I end up with 8W. Now they told me what the perimeter actually is. They say it's 60 inches. So I still have minus 6 is minus 12 is 60. If I add 12 to both sides, I end up with 72 equals 8W. I divide by 8, and I end up with the width equals 9. 9 what? The width equals 9 inches. So the length is 3 times 9, which is 27 minus 6. So the length equals, wait, what did I say? 27 minus 6 is 19 inches. Problem 6. This is the situation where we have each equation, you can use it once. No solution, one solution, or infinite solution. We use the drop-down menu. So in order to solve these problems, we need to look at the coefficients. So you're going to look for different coefficients. That's one solution. If the same coefficient, but different constants, That would be no solution. And if both are the same, that's infinite solutions. That's the sign for infinite solutions. So let's look for the infinite. Are any of these exactly the same on the left and the right? And we look through here. These both have negative 6x. And then we go to the constants, or 5. So this would be infinite. And then we look at this one. It has a 3x plus 12. There's no x's over here. So that's definitely both. They're at different coefficients because this is 0x. When you solve this, x is equal to 0. So that would be 1. Here the coefficients are 9. They're both the same. And the constants, though, are different. So you end up with a false statement. So that's no solution. Problem 6. We have a problem where it says 5 times 3x minus 2 equals 5 plus 16. So let's distribute. I distribute, I get 15x minus 10 equals 5 plus 16x. I'm going to subtract 15x from both sides. And I subtract 5, and I end up with x equals negative 15. Okay, now we have triangle angle properties. That's going back to Unit 1. What do we know about this triangle? This is an exterior angle. In a triangle. We know that it equals the sum of the remote interior angles. All right, so we have this outside exterior angle, 137, and it equals the sum of the remote interior angles. It equals the sum of 15x plus 5 plus 12x minus 3. So I need to combine the like terms. The 15x and the 12x make 27x. 5 minus 3 is plus 2. So you're not doing inverse operations over here when you're combining like terms. Again, I need to subtract 2 from both sides. And I get 135 equals 27x. Oh boy, I think that's 5. But I'm going to use my calculator. And I'm going to do 135 divided by, divide both sides by 27. And that's right, x equals 5. So I found the value of x. And now I need to go through and find the angles on the next problem. Again, this will be on a YouTube video, so you'll be able to go back and pause it and watch it as many times as you want. From 7, we got x equals 5. So now they want to know the angle measures. So this one is 15 times 5 plus 5, which is 75 plus 5. 15 times 5 is 75 plus 5. This angle is 80 degrees. And this one is 12 times 5 minus 3. That's 60 minus 3, which is 57. So check that 137 equals 80 plus 57. Check. Question 9. solve the equation, solve this linear equation, but before we even start, we can see that the coefficients are the same. So that means I either have infinite or no. So then I have to look at the constants, 8 and 9. Constants are different. So if the constants are different, the coefficients are the same, then that means I have no solution. If you worked it out and added 15x to both sides, you would get 8 does not equal 9 in that situation. It's false. And 10. What value in the box would create an answer of infinite solutions? So first I have to find out how many total... Oops, I see a typo. That's a plus. Sorry. So now I have to fix that. Okay, I got to distribute first. And I get 1c minus 6c plus 12 equals box plus 12. So that's negative 5c plus 12 equals box plus 12. So in the box, I need to put a value that makes this infinite solutions. I'd have to put negative 5c. And then your essential questions. How do you solve linear equations? You need these three components. You apply the distributive property. You combine like terms and use inverse operations. That's a 2-point response. So these are worth a lot. And then for the second essential question, what are the possible solutions to a linear equation and how could you do it without solving the problem? You look at the coefficients. So this is also a 2-point response. It needs these three cases. You look for the coefficients. If they're different, then you have one solution. Then you look at the coefficients. If they're the same, then you look at the constants. If they're different, no solution. And lastly, if the coefficients are the same and the constants are the same, then you have infinite many solutions. So study hard, study this study guide. It's going to be the biggest component of your second quarter grade. Okay.